What's y'all's opinion on this? Y'all think the older generation let us down? Absolutely. I absolutely think so, and I've talked to my parents and they're like, yeah, I think that boomers did ruin it for everyone.
Young people have every reason to be enraged, and every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them. And then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing for the first time in our nation's history.
Oh my lord. Yeah, this tracks. Percent of children earning more than their parents by year of birth. 90%. It's literally like way down. It's not like zigzaggy where it's like
30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. So we have a real issue.
Yeah, because the average amount of money that it takes to raise a child from 0 to like 18 years old is like $800,000. Yeah. I gotta look at a boomer in his new BMW as I walk around butt naked outside. I think you got more things to worry about than the new BMW. Yeah, I think it's about $800,000. It could be even more now because of inflation, but that's the last time I read it. Yeah.
Young people are enraged. They see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. We have lost the script.
What did he say again?
Gone from $290 to $420.
$290 to $420 in the last 4 years. I've seen houses that look like they should be like around about like $350,000, maybe $400,000, and they're like $100,000 more expensive than I think they're worth, in my honest opinion. Because I used to look at houses when my parents were like trying to buy houses, and like I kind of have like an understanding of what things are worth, generally speaking, at least in my perception. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's not even America. Here in Lithuania, it's also bad. You get 800 euros and give around 350 to 400 for rent, and 400 is nowhere near enough to live a comfortable life. Yeah, that sucks, man. Housing in Cali, even for a shithole, is like 500K. For where I'm looked at, like 500K is like decent. It's not great, but you can get lucky and find something pretty okay for 500K. Yeah. I think in Cali it's like really exacerbated because people value like living in near the city or in the city a lot more for some reason. 500K where I'm at would be a really nice house. It's decent. It's not bad. I've seen some pretty decent ones for 500K. Same with the NYC. I had a friend that that lived in New York City, and they had like a 3-bedroom apartment, and it was something along the lines of like 3,500. My shithole parents' house in Cali is worth $1 million, and it was bought for 250K like 13 years ago. When my parents bought their house, it was around about 600K, I think. No, it was less than that. No, it was 580K, and this was like in 2010, and they live like near the city, like within the city limits or whatever. And now they're getting contacted for like to sell their house every fucking day, pretty much. They get like realtors harassing them to the point where they've blocked pretty much everyone's numbers. And they want like close to like 800K or like $1 million, which is ridiculous in my opinion. And they're constantly harassing people to sell their land and stuff. Oh, can we buy your house so we can like build something? And they're like, it's a tiny little like house. It doesn't even have that much land on it, to be completely honest.
In the last 4 years, we have lost the script. Our kids are more anxious, and more depressed, and more obese, and more addicted. And we have made a purposeful decision to let this happen by ensuring that people around this table stay wealthy at the cost of young people.
The wealth transfer. Hell yeah. For me, the most obvious sign is that McDonald's is now actually more expensive than buying groceries most of the time if you shop smartly. Can we buy your land and put a McMansion on it so we can get rid of our lower cost homes? Yes, exactly! That's what they harass them for. They're like, yeah, we would demolish the house and just buy the land. And they're like, what the fuck? McDonald's is more expensive than Red Robin, which is crazy to me. Yeah, Red Robin's like a sit-down like burger place, and it's like around about the same, if not more. Which is crazy to me. Like, maybe a little bit more if you're tipping, because obviously, like, you're tipping, like, the service, but, yeah. McDonald's is a luxury where I live? Well, it used to not be a luxury. It was like, oh, do you want some cheap fast food? Go ahead. When I was in Poland 20 years ago, McD's had nothing but Mercedes parked there. Wait, what? You mean to tell me in 2004, people who were really rich in Poland would buy McDonald's? In America, it's the opposite. Or it used to be the opposite. 10 years ago was 10 years ago. It's over. We're gonna die soon. Boomers saying that the current generation is doing worse is not usual. They've been doing it for generations. Boomers taking out loans and rock bottom interest rates to buy houses and then rent them for a higher cost, and then they pay in the mortgage. Really cool. Yep, that wasn't gonna cause any problems down the road. Nope. The only problems it caused is that ropes are now more expensive. Thank you. What the fuck was that? Oh, never mind. You used to have such a good economy for the simple person, but I see that we have to take a lot after USA. Well, USA and China are big economies, so that's the issue. They affect each other and they affect the rest of the world. My parents used to scold me until they realized in the last, like, I'd say in the last 10 years, my parents are pretty self-reflective. And they realized how fucked my brother and I are, which is why they're being very nice to us lately. But before that, around about 2012 and like before that, they would make like snarky comments and say like, oh, well, we had it really hard, you know, just like you. And my brother was like, my brother's older than me, and he was struggling to buy a house. And when my parents realized that he was struggling to buy a house when he had a decent job as like an electrician, they realized like, yeah. So what would happen is that my brother would go and try and buy a house, and people that would take calls on behalf of others to like put in bids into houses, they would bid him out by like $300,000 or more. He stopped going to auctions because of that. He would be like, you know, when they do the auctioning, like in front of the house, and my brother would like stand there, and I went to one, by the way, I saw it firsthand. They would buy it out by $200,000 to $300,000 and just like be like, yeah, this guy on the phone wants $200,000 to $300,000, and they're like in another state or something. And we're like, what the fuck, man? Why are they even allowed to do that? He's just a guy trying to buy a house to live in, and this guy's like some property corpa borpa trying to take like a house from him? Why is this even allowed? That's when I became like very disillusioned. Rich people invest in real estate, keep others they keep from owning a house. Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to do that. I don't think you should be allowed to do that. It's disgusting. He was trying to buy a house for like $580,000 like 5-10 years ago. I can't remember, maybe like 8 years ago. And he got outbid up to like $1 million. And my brother was like flabbergasted. I remember my parents came home with him, and he was so depressed because he was like, man, that was like a really nice house that I thought like he was willing to go up to like 600 to 700,000, and they priced him out of it by like up to $1 million almost. It will crash anyway, no customers, no business. Bro, people have been saying that the housing bubble's gonna crash for fucking years now. What normal dude will afford 1 million? Well, mortgages, but like you can't afford a mortgage if you're just priced out of it. You know what I'm saying? House flippers making money by raising property values and surrounding property taxes. Yeah, that too. I think it's a lot of combining factors in my opinion. My parents have been saying the housing bubble will pop for 5+ years. Me too! They're like, Alana, just save your money. You can get a decent mortgage if you just wait. And I'm like, bro, I am so tired of living and renting. I'd like to have some sort of like stability, you know? And I bet a lot of people feel the same way. All of these, and we haven't even touched on the job market, employers requiring degrees for entry-level positions dropped to like 90%, so everyone gets started getting degrees to the point it's oversaturated. Now everyone has 30 to 100k degrees that they can't get a job with. Yeah, exactly. I remember when I was applying for one of my first jobs, and I applied for a little like international food shop that would like import goods from like other countries and like sell them, obviously for like more money. But I thought it was just like a retail cashier shop, and they wouldn't take me because I didn't have prior like 1 year experience handling a cash register and stocking. I literally sat there flabbergasted when I was like 17 or 18 years old. I was shocked. I was like, what do you mean? It's an entry-level job. Like, I'm stocking and handling the cash register. What? Like, that's a menial job. Like, in the 1950s, they used to just hire anyone off the street to do that job. That disillusioned me as well. It all kind of happened, like, around about the same time. It was really depressing at the time. I only got a job at a local photo place, like doing like the same like retail kind of stocking job because I knew someone that used to work there. That's also another thing that drives me insane. The fucking nepotism. Like you have to fucking know people to get hired. It drove me nuts. Also, they only hire if someone already knows you. Exactly! That's the only reason every other place told me to go fuck myself. Oh, just try again some other time. Like, what the fuck, man? Can't get a job because I don't have 2 years experience, because I can't get a job because I don't have 2 years experience, can't get a job because I don't have 2 years experience, I can't get a job. Connections get you hired more than actual skills. I know that Australia and New Zealand have that nepotism problem, like, rampant in every, like, possible job industry. Like, in America, at least you can kind of, like, get a job, like, stocking shelves, and it sucks, but, like, you can get a job. But in Australia and New Zealand, nepotism is, like, for everything, apparently. I had a friend that lived in Australia, and they told me, like, yeah, it's all just nepo babyism. Same thing happened to me when I lived in Ireland. Is it really that like that too over there? Here in Scandinavia, it's real bad. Almost all good jobs are nepo hire bullshit. No way, really? Even Scandinavia?
Boomers ruined the job market by thinking college made you smart and not that smart people went to college. Now everyone needs a degree and or years of experience.
I might get a lot of flack for this, but I don't think that people should be getting degrees for anything except like being a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or like an architect or something. Like certain jobs. I'm not naming all of them correctly, but like I think that a lot of them are kind of irrelevant. Very particular jobs. Yeah. Because that's what it used to be, at least to some degree. Maybe even teaching, but even then, I think that being a teacher, you can just, like, get, like, a degree. In Germany, apprenticeships are still going strong. Yeah, I agree. Trade schools and apprenticeships are the way to go. My brother had a degree in public relations or something. Are women cringe? And that ended up going nowhere. Being the woman makes you gagey. So he became an electrician.
3 months smugs.
Yo, thank you so much for the 3 months, Nash. No, I have to study for 5 years to become a teacher. I think you should be able to start after like 2 years of studying of being a teacher, and you kind of like graduate slowly into like being a more professional and like, how do I say it? Like more experienced teacher. Like if you want to, you can go up to 5 years. You can go up to 10 years to like learn to be like an excellent teacher. And it should come with like increases in pay and also a return on your investment. Teacher to professor? It depends. I'm not like a professor or anything. I don't know what I'm talking about in a general sense. My drawing degree? My brother says the biggest regret in his life was getting a public relations degree. And he was young and stupid too. He went into university at like age 18 and was like, yeah, I'm gonna get like an English bachelor's and a degree in public relations, and then ended up going nowhere. He says he regrets that. He says he wish it was an electrician from the start or something like that. Something to do with trade. Luckily, he has a nice trading job now as being an electrician. He like lays down stuff and it's important. He like goes to airports and stuff to like do jobs for them, and it pays well. But a lot of people go into university like really, really early, and they end up regretting everything. Most of the time. I'm not saying all, there's exceptions. Laying down pipe. My mom got a master's in speech pathology, but didn't get to student teach until the end of her master's, and realized she actually hated it. That's what I think is like a massive problem. You're like really young, 18 years old. When I went into university at like 17 and a half, I was so stressed out all the time. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like a mess. I was blubbering. I didn't know if I wanted to do this. My parents didn't want me to be like anything else, so I was like pressured at all angles. Trade is secure for like another 50 years. I would say it's secure forever. I think like I think trades are needed. Like, who builds houses? Electricians, carpenters, plumbers. You always need someone to do plumbing. You always need someone to do the roofing. They always need someone to like make the like the house skeleton. What is it called? Like the infrastructure. You always need an architect to build a decent house, right? We don't need a lot of them, but we need good ones. You'll always need farmers. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point too.